was hungover yesterday and that bitch was not productive. But it was worth it because I had a lit time and maybe.
Yes.
My name is Brae Howard and I'm a photographer. I photograph people. So I shoot street fashion, I do lifestyle sessions for small businesses. I photograph people who are interesting and beautiful to me. And yeah, I do portrait work. I moved to Philadelphia when I was 22 and I pursued photography here. So I had just moved home from teaching English in China for a year. And then I said, all right, I'm going to be a photographer. So let me go to Philadelphia. And I just got a job working in a cafe and I started Googling Philadelphia photographers, emailing them and asking to assist them. And yeah, I kind of learned photography that way.
And they actually allowed you to assist them?
If you send 100 emails, you might have 2 photographers say yes to you. So that's my strategy in all things. Cast the net wide and then you find something. That's how I date. That's how I make friends. That's how I get work.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cambridge, Maryland. So I grew up in a small town in Maryland. Then I went to college in Tennessee, moved to China for a year, and then came to Philly.
You went to college for what?
I was an English literature major at a small Christian college on a Tennessee mountaintop.
Did you always have like an interest in photography, or when did that start?
Yeah, I always had an interest in photography since I was a little girl because my father was good at photographing me and my siblings. He would take really nice portraits of us, and whenever his film came back in the mail, I was very, very excited about it. So, as a young teenager, I would snap pictures, and like it was always just very exhilarating for me. And in college, I taught people how to use the darkroom as like my work at college. So for 3 years, I taught people how to develop film. That was just like my work at the school. But yeah, I was an English major.
Why do you do photography?
I do photography because like people are fascinating to me. Like I always look at people on the street and just think like, what are they doing? Like what's their story? So if it was like 200 years ago and I was here on this earth, I would be painting people or drawing people. Because yeah, I'm a portrait artist. I'm really interested in what people look like and what they're doing and like how they present themselves. Probably when I was like 13, my dad gave me like a Pentax point and shoot for Christmas. And then I just started taking pictures of my sisters and my friends. They weren't any good, but I liked taking them. So the way I work as a photographer, I don't often have a specific concept that I want to bring to life. Usually I see something I like and I just want to capture it. So street fashion is really perfect for me that way. Or I see someone whose vibe is very interesting to me and I'll want to shoot them. But I would like to work more in having a concept and bringing it to life. I love photographing all kinds of different people. I like photographing people of all different colors, people of all different shapes, and people of all different ages. Like with my sexy photos of women, I want to shoot more women in their 60s and 70s. Like I plan on being sexy when I'm like 70 years old.
Yeah.
We always have, people always can have a sensual energy. It's not age dependent. So I'm very anti-ageist. I'm very anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. I really like to shoot a lot of women and queer people, to be honest. When I'm shooting men, they have a lot of feminine energy. Either that or they're like super like strong and buff and have like a very like sexy energy. Dark skin is beautiful to me. It always has been since I was a little girl. I remember growing up in a neighborhood with a lot of Mexican people and black people and just thinking they were the most beautiful people I'd ever seen. Women have always been very beautiful to me. I wish I wasn't as straight as I am. I just date men. That's very unfortunate. But I just love women. I love working with women. I love photographing women. I love all the energy that women bring to me. And when men have feminine energy, that's very beautiful to me. So I love anything that's gender bending or androgynous. I like anything that breaks society's rules. Society's rules are very boring. Society's expectations are the most boring. So I like to kind of live life my own way, do my own thing, and I like to show the world people that are unique and visually compelling and doing something different from what society says is the cool thing to do. So I just love diversity, and I love feminine energy. Well, I usually wake up at 8:30. I make myself my green tea. I make a fruit smoothie. I have breakfast. I do my 20-minute meditation, and then I get started on my computer, and I edit photos. I send the emails I need to send. I do whatever work I need to do for that day, and I don't work longer than 6 hours in a day. And, throughout the week I'll shoot 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 photo gigs, whatever I have for that week. But somehow with being self-employed, I am able to never work more than 6 hours a day, and that is my best self. So I developed my meditation habit in Korea, because when I first got to Korea, I didn't know anyone. I didn't love my job. I didn't hate it, but it's like I'm at the school every day. I didn't have my photography business anymore. I didn't have any friends. I wasn't familiar with where I was. So it was like, who am I? When I first got there, it was like this extreme feeling of like weakness and vulnerability, and feeling like, what am I even good at? Like, it's hard for me to even like ride my bike to school because I'm not familiar with this town yet. Or it's hard to teach because I'm not used to teaching yet. And so I just thought, like, who am I? And I thought, I'm a person who meditates every day and who eats really delicious and healthy food and who gets 8 hours of sleep every night. So I was just like, my identity is going to be taking care of myself really well. Focus on my breath. I say things in my mind like, I know I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing out. Or I say things like, there is nothing that's more important than my peace. Or I say like, I'm here for myself and I love myself. Mainly I was just focused on like eating Korean food, learning to cook Korean food, having good habits, meditating every day, exercising every day, lifting weights, getting enough sleep. And then my second year in Seoul, I just started meeting so many interesting people, shooting street fashion, meeting models and stylists, coordinating shoots, and yeah. Seoul's cool. So Seoul is the New York City of Korea, but Korea is 1/7 the size of Texas. So it's a tiny country. But Seoul is as big as New York City. It's so clean. It's so beautiful. People are so put together. People are so stylish. Nobody steals anything. I didn't have to lock my bike up. People are like charging their iPhone in the subway bathroom and just leaving the phone by itself.
Wow.
Like no one's going to take their iPhone that's charging in the subway bathroom. If you lose something, Koreans will get it back in your hands. If you lose your wallet or phone, it's going to come back to you.
So can you speak Korean?
No, I can't speak Korean at all. I paid for like 20 or 30 hours of tutoring, but it just wouldn't stick in my brain. And so I don't speak Korean now. But I'm very comfortable living in a culture where I don't speak the language, because I lived in China, I lived in Japan, and I only speak English. It's very shameful. Like, a bitch could at least speak Spanish. Come on. No, nothing. So this Facebook group called Expat Women in Korea is how I met like most of the women I hung out with. I would just introduce myself on the group, post some pictures of myself, say what I was interested in, and ask people to be friends with me. And I met awesome people like that. I joined a women's rugby team that way. I told everyone on that group that I was shooting like boudoir photography. Would anyone like to do that? I must have shot 50 different women. Like, they would pay me, and I would meet really awesome women that way, just like having a little boudoir photography hustle. And then I also made friends just by shooting street fashion, like walking around the streets shooting people that looked really cool. Most of those people I didn't make friends with, but some of them I did. So actually, I want to keep making friends that way for the rest of my life. Let me find the dopest looking person on the street and make them my friend. I like to treat myself like a queen, so I like to buy really good skincare. I love to buy really delicious tea. I spend money on my groceries. I buy the best groceries, and I spend money on my gym membership. If you're there and I'm like, see, I don't know, you can see how it looks like.
Okay, let's see. What makes you most happy?
Eating good food and like hanging out with fun people makes me most happy, I think.
Do you feel content with where you are right now?
No, but I don't imagine ever feeling content with where I am because I want to like constantly be evolving and growing and like progressing. But I feel like I'm in a good place. Like I feel like I'm headed in a good direction. So I just always want to be headed in a good direction.
How do you ground yourself?
I ground myself by eating healthy food, getting 8 hours of sleep every night, and meditating every day.